Do you know if your makeup is expired? Do you know if your makeup is expired? Hello you guys, your girl Euniycemari here, and so we are going to talk about makeup and expiration dates, when to throw away your makeup. Before we begin, I just want to give you guys some common sense type of things, some common sense knowledge here. If a product smells weird, or if it's separated or looks funky in color, it's definitely rancid, it's definitely expired. Don't use it, chuck it, okay? So number two, the next one is that usually on a lot, not on a lot, I haven't seen them on all of them, but usually on your makeup products, they do give you a little bit of an estimation of when you should get rid of your products. I'm trying to see if I can find one that actually has it on there. It'll tell you like 12 months, 6 months, and I don't see it on this one. Oh, okay. And it's funny because I already picked up like 3 products and didn't see it, but on my Dream Velvet Matte Liquid Foundation, it has a 12-month mark on the back. If you guys can see that, hold on, let me see. It has a 12-month mark on the back, so that's kind of like the estimate of it being like good for 12 months up to a year. Okay, so some of the products, makeup products, will have that on there, and it's just for you to kind of keep in mind that, yeah, you do have about a year before this goes bad, or before you want to consider throwing this out. Talk about, you know, the expiration dates, or about when should you consider throwing out your makeup. Starting with foundations, okay? We're going to start with foundations. Foundations can last up to a year. They're pretty closed, tight sealed. Foundations are something that you don't really dip into. You kind of either pump it out or pour it out. But once again, something like this one, once you do open up this top, you do expose it to the air, which exposes it to bacteria. So once bacteria and everything starts to harvest inside of any type of product, it can start to go bad. So keep that in mind, but they do have a good shelf life of, I would say, 6 to 12 months. After 12 months, I would say definitely consider chucking it if you still have it. Usually foundation I run through pretty quickly, but if you have it over 12 months, I will definitely say chuck it. Moving on to mascaras. Mascaras, I want to say about 2 months, 2 to 3 months, you want to probably throw these bad boys out. The reason why is mascara is one of those products that you are constantly pulling out and putting back in. You are introducing bacteria into this product. Okay, so I mean, by pumping it like this, you're putting air into it, you're putting bacteria into this product. So this one is going to harvest a little bit more bacteria than anything else that's probably sealed or closed. So you definitely, mascara has a shorter life on the shelf, I want to say, and also you can smell. I've noticed that whenever I'm questioning like how long have I had this mascara, I will smell it and you can definitely tell it's no good, and mascara will dry out a lot quicker. So those are some signs with mascara that you can tell that it's no good. It's either it smells really funky and it's dried out. After mascara, let's talk about eyeliners, or we can go into pencil liners for the eyes. Now pencil liners for the eyes are not bad at all. I want to say they can probably last up to about a year as well, because one of the things about pencil liners is that you're sharpening them, so it's always a new layer, and again, it's going near the eye, so you still want to be careful and you still want to keep in mind you're handling your makeup when you're using it, and also to make sure to throw it out after a good 12 months. And this one doesn't have any recommended type of shelf life or anything like that, but pencils can last pretty long. Next, we're going to talk about lip glosses. Now lip glosses is another one that I would say you want to change them out about every 2 to 3 months. Lip glosses can get really nasty. I think out of all of the products, lip glosses are probably like the most that can get like the nastiest. Also too, because you are going in and out, you're introducing bacteria into this, as well as after we eat, we throw on lip glosses. Like we just throw lip gloss on. It's near the mouth, it's near the saliva, the teeth, all of that. So this one can get a little nasty, I feel. But the lip glosses are right along with the mascaras. You want to get rid of them every 2 to 3 months. Next one I'm talking about are powders. So this is powders as far as like loose powders, pressed powders, eyeshadows, any of that. These are a lot more, I want to say, sanitary. Not sanitary, they can get bacteria in them too, but they have a longer shelf life as well. I would say about a year for powders. First, they do have a disinfecting spray that you can use to disinfect your powders. I don't own one personally, but if you're like a makeup artist, I think that it's really good for you to have that in your kit, or for if you're just an everyday makeup user, period, because it will keep away that bacteria that comes onto the powder and the products. But like I said, powders can last up to about a year. The next thing we're going to talk about are lipsticks, and I want to say lipsticks have about 6 months, maybe 6 months to a year. I've noticed sometimes though, even 6 months out, I will have an issue where I can start to tell that my lipstick is becoming, like, you can see it, it'll start becoming ashy looking or dried out looking, and that's how I can tell that the lipstick is no good. Or either when you swatch it and like it's really like crumbly or sticky, then that's how you know that you need to chuck your lipstick. But I would say about 6 months, maybe to a year. What else? Oh, okay. So I want to talk about products that you possibly like put your hands into, like maybe concealer jars. Do I have one? I don't think I have a product like that, but like little concealers that come in the jars that you put your fingers into. Now, anything that you introduce your hands into or air into, that's introducing bacteria into that item. So like, for example, a little tub of concealer, you're constantly putting a brush in there, or you're constantly putting your finger in there, and therefore it can go bad a lot faster because you are introducing bacteria into that. It really doesn't matter how often you may wash your hands before you use the product. The whole thing is that you're putting your hand in there. No matter how much you try to get rid of bacteria, you still have bacteria on you. Something like, this is not a... Something like this, I have like a little spatula. This is more of like a cuticle pusher, but I use it as a makeup spatula because I don't really use it for my cuticles. But they usually sell like these little metal spatulas that are something like this, where you can either pull out product and put it onto a palette or onto the back of your hand. And I would say to make a product like that last longer, I would say definitely use a spatula, disinfect it, pull out some product, put it onto the back of your hand or onto a palette, and then use it that way to work it onto your face or your lips or your eyes or whatnot. But don't directly put your hands into products because that adds bacteria to it, as well as that can shorten the life of it. Shorten the life of your actual product. Lastly, I think I missed liquid. Yeah, lastly, liquid wise, I would say these are the same thing because you're going in and out of them, I would say about 2 to 3 months with liquid liners. Anything that has to come to opening it and closing it, I say about 2 to 3 months. Or anything that has to come in contact with either the eyes or the lips, I definitely would say 2 to 3 months, because those are kind of vital areas and you don't want to be putting expired makeup in those areas. But once again, you can smell and you can see it when it's bad. So it's really easy for you to tell. Smell it before you use it, look at it before you use it, and think back like, when did I buy this? So if you haven't think too long about when you bought something, then you might want to get rid of it, okay? So those are my tips, or those are my when to throw away your makeup. And do you have expired makeup right now? Because I know I do. Look at, I have all this right here that needs to be thrown into the trash. And so yes, thank you so much for watching. This is your girl Euniycemari. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will see you in my next video.